Everyone, welcome back to yet another live Q&A. As always, we will wait for some time for people to let join and ask their questions. And also, if you have already joined, please let me know about the audio quality. If you can hear me, please do let me know. If you can't, I will take a look. At my end, everything seems to be working fine. In the in the streaming application also, everything is looking fine, and also YouTube streaming uh, portal is also showing the connection is fine. So yeah, please do let me know if there are any issues at your end. We can take a look. Depending on the question, we may talk about some of the new rules proposed by Home Office around immigration, but I would very quickly mention some of the things like it seems like anyone who came to the UK in 2021 and after that, uh, the normal duration to be in the UK would probably be 10 years. It's now looking more possible than before. So it seems like that can happen. But again, there is no final uh, judgment or verdict on that yet. So anything can change. But it seems like it is possible now. And also, there are some ways if you fall under those categories, you might still get your ILR well before 10 years. So the first one is if your salary is above 50,700 pound, I think you will be able to get your visa in 5 years. You have to be on that salary for 5 years to be able to get the ILR. And the next one is I think above 125k, something like that. So if your salary is that much for 3 years, you should still be able to get your visa in 3 years. So obviously they're trying to attract high income uh, individuals. So yeah, those are the few important things that I think was worth mentioning. Um, but again, these things are still proposals and nothing has been finalized yet. But the closer we reach to the 2026 financial year, it seems like these things are becoming more structured and it seems to look like a formal proposal rather than just a rough draft. So, yeah, anything is possible, but we need to wait and see. Roshan, because of my academics and loan situation, I got MSc Business Analytics from Aston and I can't change the course and uni because scenarios is like that only for me. But I wanted to do data science. So can I get data science job after my MSc in BA? You certainly can because of course on your CV it may look like data science in business analytics. What am I saying? Masters in business analytics. But if you have data science skills on your CV, Python, statistics, machine learning, deep learning, Gen AI, all those kind of things, you should still be able to get calls for interviews for data science related roles. So yeah, I mean, if you are able to spend some time um, to learn those skills, if you don't have them already, if you already have them, then that's good. If not, then you may have to spend some extra time to pick up those things. But in most universities, even if you take business analyst course, they still cover quite a lot of introductory thing that you need for a data science course. So I think you'll still be able to learn quite a lot of foundations there, but then you will still have to spend quite a lot of time and effort to pick up other data science skills. So if you're able to do that, it should be okay, and you should be able to get a job in the world of data science. Because within my team, I have a team member. He finished his um, master's in business analytics, but currently he's working as a data analyst. So yes, it is totally possible. And the job that he's doing, or the actual roles and responsibilities, they are more towards data science. So yeah, it is totally possible. Also, if I am coming as a fresher in this field, so what should I learn and prepare before coming to get relevant internship? Um, to get an internship, well, again, internships can vary from uh, job to job, and of course task to task as well. But if you know programming, maths and stats, data analysis tools and techniques such as various Python packages like matplotlib, seaborn, pandas, numpy, those things, and along with that, if you know any reporting tools like Power BI or Tableau, I think with those skills, it should be possible for you to get an internship. But then if you know other things as well, like machine learning, Gen AI, Gen AI sort of things, I think it will certainly help. I don't know how the internship market currently looks like, but I would I would assume that there might be a lot of internships related to Gen AI stuff, because a lot of these companies, they are trying to make use of Gen AI in some capacity. So if you know how to use these APIs and build systems, how to design prompt and stuff, I think that should certainly help you to get an internship. So it depends how much time you have and what all you can cover. So yeah, if you cover all the initial things that I mentioned, like Python, some analytical packages, and BI tools like Power BI and Tableau, after that, it's totally up to you. You can try to learn machine learning and deep learning, but I would suggest, if you're planning to do that in your masters, I would suggest maybe just taking a look at how to make these Gen AI applications. That would certainly help, because when it comes to Gen AI, it's all about how to make use of those APIs and how to use those tokens efficiently, and how to make most out of those API calls, because they have rate limit, so you can make only so many number of calls per minute, or per second, things like that. So how to manage those things? So if you are able to learn those things, and I think it should be relatively easy to learn those things as compared to machine learning and deep learning, I think be you'll be okay to find an internship. But don't think of it as like you can just get away with knowing how to use API, because when you will be going for interviews, they might ask you how LLMs work. If it's a natural language processing based project, they might ask you some of the working of machine learning and deep learning algorithms. They might ask you how transformers work, and there are a lot of things they can ask. So I would suggest, if you're just focusing on internship, I would say try to learn the applied part of these things, and then you can maybe dig deeper into the theoretical part, because that way at least you'll be able to work on quite a lot of projects and then show them that you know how to build stuff. But for interviews, maybe for internship interviews, they may not ask you like very difficult theoretical questions, but when you will apply for jobs, in that interview they might ask you quite a lot of these theoretical questions, because it is important to understand how things work under the hood as well. So yeah, for internship I would recommend learning the applied part, and as soon as you start your masters, I would recommend start to dig deeper into some of those concepts and see and learn how those things work under the hood. What's the process for internship and how someone can get internship from big tech? Should I apply from India or internship if this works? And which project would you suggest to get internship easily? Projects can be very different, and there is no one or two project that you can do to get internship easily. So that is a very difficult question, because different companies have different use cases, and you can work on healthcare project, or you can work on supply chain project, or you can work on financial based project to generate financial report automatically, things like that. So again, it depends from sector to sector. So if you can choose a particular sector that you are very much interested in, I think then it will be relatively easy for you to figure out which project to work on. But it's a very wider question. Coming to other questions like how to get internship in big tech. So a lot of these companies, they work in collaboration with universities as well to do some research work. So I think for now it might be difficult because you're not part of the university, but as soon as you are in enrolled in your masters, you can always reach out to your professors and maybe program leaders and even your career service team, and ask them, is there any project that they have, that the university have received uh, from the companies, and you can see if that project works for you, if you have the right amount of skills, and then you can apply to those projects, and then there might be some interview and all those things, and then you will be able to get the internship. So that is something which you can do once you are enrolled in your course. But for now, what you can do is you can go to um, job portals like LinkedIn, Indeed, and there are many others in the UK, and then try to find internships or part-time jobs there. So, and when I say part-time job, there are a lot of companies where you can work as a part-time data scientist or data analyst or business analyst. So that is also possible. So you can try to find those. Or if you already have some companies in your mind, you can go to their career page and try to find if they have any internships open currently. So you can apply. And in your application, you can always mention that um, you will be doing your master's in so and so course from so and so university starting this date, so that companies are aware that you will be working from the UK and not from India if you are applying now, right now. So yeah, those things are probably important to mention in your application. Hello Roshan, do companies provide sponsorship for dependent also, or they provide only for main applicant and for dependent we have to cover? I think there are both options available and it depends from company to company. So I think it would be worth talking to your HR, because when I was filling my application, there was an option where they asked, "Are you married?" And at that time, I was not. So I said no. But if I had said yes, probably they would have given option to apply dependent visa for my partner as well. So yeah, and some companies they want you to cover the dependent expenses. So and it makes sense, I think. So yeah, it depends from company to company. So you may have to ask your HR team to give you more information, but both the options are usually available. Sometimes what happens is when you apply for a skilled worker visa, of course 50% you will be paying, 50% company will be paying. Sometimes you'll have to pay everything, and sometimes company will pay everything for your visa. But then if there is a dependent, at the time of application company might pay the fees, but slowly you can pay back the company for the dependent visa. So that is also the option available. So I have friends in a lot of different companies and they have a lot of different ways of applying for skilled worker visa and dependent. So all the options that I can think of I have mentioned, but again, as I said, it depends from company to company. So you should reach out to your HR team and they should be able to guide you. Can you provide an idea how much approximately it costs for 3 years and 5 years if we need to apply for dependent ourselves? So when I applied for my visa, the fees was quite low, but now it has increased quite a lot. And one other thing I would like to mention here is that a lot of these companies they use a third party agency to apply for these visas, and that comes with additional charges. So if you are applying for, I mean, if your company is applying on their own, the charges might be a little less. But for 5 years, um, if you're applying today, I think the cost might come to like £20,000 for skilled worker visa. Um, and again, it depends if you will have to pay everything or if company is paying everything or it's a 50-50. So that's there. But yeah, for 5 years, I think it is £20,000 approximately, and that is using an agency. If it is just the company who is handling all these paperwork for you, and or maybe you are the one who is applying and you're just having the cash letter. Is it cash? No, it's COS number. Yeah, it's COS number. So if you have it, I think the charges might be a little less. Um, we can do the calculation. So if you go to a skilled worker visa page and they have given the breakdown quite clearly, so it's relatively easy to calculate how much it is going to cost, because for 5 years you'll have to pay health surcharge. On top of that there will be some application fees. So yeah, there are some charges, but it's fairly easy. You shouldn't expect anything else apart from the charges that are mentioned on the website unless you're using a third party agency. So if you're going through third party agency for 5 year, it may cost you 20K, and you don't have to pay that whole amount in one go. Even if you have to pay the whole amount, you can always pay back the company on monthly installment basis. So that's how it is, but it's very expensive. It has become quite a lot expensive in last couple of years. Great. I can get offer from India for part-time or internship from data science. Also, I have 7 to 8 months. I will come in September 26. Can you please give me a quick roadmap to succeed in my MSc with good grades and got job? Also, I never made assignment report here, so how should I learn that thing? Any video suggestion? I have quite a lot of videos discussing about literally all those things on the channel, so let me quickly go to the playlist, if all those videos are in one playlist, and share it with you, or if I can just find those videos, I will put the link in the chat as well. My secret, yeah, so this is the one. And the price that I mentioned, or the cost that I mentioned for the visa, it was just for one person. So this is the one where I talked about what all things you should do to be successful in your masters. But if you go to the channel and if you look at the playlist, there are quite a lot of playlists, and in that playlist you'll be able to find quite a lot of useful content. I also did MSc Data Science Newcastle. So there is a playlist with that name. So in that also we have quite a lot of videos that talk about report writing and how the assessments work and things like that. So you should get a very good understanding of how things usually work here in the UK when you are doing your masters. So I hope these videos help. Roadmap suggestion before coming to UK. Yeah, so that is also there on the channel, like prerequisites. And then I also have a roadmap to become a data scientist. I think I made that video earlier this year. So nothing has really changed much. Of course, the technology has changed quite a bit, but the things that I talked about should stay the same. So this is to become a data scientist. But there is a prerequisite video as well, which I made probably few years back. So let me see if I can find that one as well. Yep, there it is. And all the things that I mentioned in this particular video, which I'm going to share now, you don't need to cover everything, but and I think I did mention this in the video as well, that you don't need to cover everything, but if you are able to cover majority of the things, it will certainly make your life so much easier while doing your course. If one has to pick between a tech role where sponsorship is promised verbally after current visa expires, which is 1 year from now, and a consulting role providing sponsorship immediately, your suggestion? um so the reason it is difficult to answer is because if your end goal is to get a PR and stay in the UK and continue to work in the UK, then I think the sponsorship, uh, the consulting role, which is providing the sponsorship immediately, should be the option to go for, because you will be able to get the sponsorship now and you will not waste your 1 year post study work visa period, because that is essentially not going to count towards your uh, settlement or PR. So you should go for this one, and this is looking purely based on the ILR or PR requirements. Another thing is, of course, if you apply for skilled worker visa next year, the fees are only going to get higher and more expensive. So you will probably save some money if you apply this year, and it is also going to count towards your PR requirement. So you could choose this one. But if you think more towards like learning and growing within the tech world, if that's what you want and you're fine to wait for another year, you can probably go for the tech role. But again, it's just verbal. Usually it works because companies do keep their word unless the business is just not doing very well and either you get laid off or they just don't have the budget to do so. They might not give you sponsorship. So if you want to play safe, I would say go ahead with the consulting role, because they are giving you sponsorship now and it has more positives than negative, because even if it is consulting role, but if it is relatively technical, you will still be able to explore a lot of different things. And if you are someone who likes to learn new stuff, you will anyways keep learning and growing in that role as well. So yeah, the second option is a lot more safer than the first option. But if you really like the tech world and you want to keep growing in that world, then tech, the first option could be the better one to go for. If I was in your place back in 2021, when 2022, when I was looking for a job, I probably would have gone for the first one, um, because that time things were still a lot more predictable. But today things are very unpredictable, so maybe to take a safer route would make more sense. So yeah, it's a very difficult choice, I totally understand. But at the end of the day, whatever gives you the peace of mind, I think that is more important. So I would suggest choosing it wisely. What is Microsoft Fabric? Is this new tool in data science or DA? So Microsoft Fabric is just a combination of a lot of different analytical tools and some of the data storage thing. So you can consider Fabric as a data layer and then Power BI as an BI layer. So it's just creating a package of all the tools that are required to create an end-to-end data analysis project or a reporting project. So it's just packaging a lot of different tools together so that they work very well together. I personally think it's good. In our company, we do have Microsoft Fabric, but I don't think we have all the capabilities that Fabric has. Recently, they uh, launched or showcased Microsoft in their Ignite was to use the Power BI data model to create agentic applications, which I think is quite revolutionary because a lot of these data analysts, they're really good at creating those data models, creating different relationship between them so that different data can work together within Power BI and create those dashboards. So now if they can just take that data model and don't have to create a new semantic layer, then they can just use that data model without having to create a new semantic layer and create agentic applications. So that was a pretty cool feature I think they released. I don't think we have that available in our organization just yet, but it would be nice to try it out. I will probably take a subscription of Fabric or something just to try it out because I do it quite a lot. I sometimes take a subscription for a month or two for Azure, AWS, GCP just to try some of the new things that they launched. And if I feel like it's quite nice, then I try to make those suggestions to the central IT team, and based on their testing, they may or may not make it available to the wider organization. I just like trying these things, new stuff. So I just do it on my personal account because it's not ethical and wise to do it on your company's account. So I don't do that. What tools you use in your company and what I should learn before I apply for data analyst and data engineer. Um, so different companies have different tools and techniques and also guidelines to develop various systems. In my organization, we use Snowflake as a data warehouse, and that's where all the data sits. And other than that, you can use Python, you can use no code, low code applications to build data processing pipelines. You can use Snowpark, of course, if you want, or you can use PySpark. You can run things locally. So there are quite a lot of flexibility, which is good. But at the end, when you have to deploy it, you need to reach out to central IT team. They have their own MLOps or ops team. They usually do the lifting and shifting things when it comes to moving things to production. And when it comes to BI tools, we predominantly use Power BI because everything is Microsoft based. So it just becomes very well integrated in that whole ecosystem. So for BI, we have Power BI. So those are some of the tools that we use quite a lot in our day-to-day data science and data engineering stuff. What's your motivation in data science? I in general like analyzing data even if it is not for my professional work, and in general I like tech. The initially I got into data science was because of machine learning and deep learning, because as a kid I really liked maths And when I used to solve those complex equations and integration differentiation problems, I didn't really understand where do we even use these things. And during my final year of engineering, I came across machine learning, and that's where I saw that all those equations and stuff that I used to solve uh, are actually used in data science, oh sorry, machine learning and deep learning. And that's where I got to know that there is a bigger umbrella term called as data science, which include all of those things. That's where I started getting into data science, and that's why I got into data science. And then over the years, I have worked on a lot of different machine learning projects, deep learning projects, data engineering projects, data analysis projects. And every time I look at a new data, it's just a new project. Of course, you apply similar kind of steps, checking for data accuracy, checking for cleanness of the data and all those things. But the way you handle things are very different from data to data. So that's what keeps me motivated to work and look into a lot of different data. And then at the end, once you build an application around that data which serves either my purpose or business's purpose, it just feels very rewarding that the project that you carried out is helping the business to make a lot of very major decisions and impactful decisions. So that's what keeps me motivated to stay in data science. And in general, I just like learning new things. And you might already know that data science is a very fast moving field. There's new things every day, so it just keeps me on my toes, and I try to look out for things which are there and I try to learn them. So that's my motivation to be in data science. Do you think the proposed changes in ILR, which supposedly will be applicable in April next year, will have impact on companies willing to provide sponsorship? Any risk they might change their mind? Impact on companies? Yes, because the salary thresholds are quite high. So companies will have to pay more salary and then provide sponsorship. So they will be spending a lot more money than just hire someone who doesn't need sponsorship. So it will be easy for companies to hire people without any requirement of sponsorship. The only thing is, companies are willing to pay more if they can find right kind of talent. So that is something which probably government is not thinking about, that there are very few STEM related uh, courses that local people would like to get into. So how do they motivate people to get into STEM related courses so that they don't need to depend on immigrants? So yeah, I personally think it will still act as a um, discouragement for companies to sponsor people, because it's just becoming more expensive and expensive. But at the end of the day, if they can't find the right candidate for the role, they will probably have to pay more money to hire someone who is more suitable. So yes, definitely it will have an impact, but again, at the end of the day, it depends on if they're able to find right candidate without having to sponsor. Space companies like SpaceX, maybe not Tesla, but SpaceX, NASA, ISRO also hires data scientists. What's work of data science in space companies? Um, any company can hire data scientists, because all these companies generate quite a lot of data, collect a lot of data, and if they need to analyze that data, they need data scientists. I don't think there will be any company today which does not generate any data or does not use any data. So Space companies collect a lot of space related data, a lot of space imagery. They need to analyze that image. They collect like hundreds of thousands of images at a very large resolution. So to be able to analyze that data, you need very good computer vision skills, and to be able to do it more efficiently. So yeah, there are a lot of different kind of roles within space agencies. That was just one example, but even they have a financial team. They need financial analysts, so you could be a data analyst in their financial team to analyze the spendings and profit margins, if there are any, and where they can invest to make some money. So yeah, all the companies today need data scientists because they're generating just so much data. Are you a data analyst, data engineer, or data scientist? That's a very good question. My official role is senior data analyst, but the work that I do is of a data engineer, is of a data analyst, is of a data scientist, is of a Gen AI engineer. So there are quite a lot of things that I do. So it's very difficult to probably give a definite answer to your question. If you want to take my official role, which is senior data analyst, then yeah, I'm a data analyst. But if you look at my roles and responsibilities, then I'm probably all of them. Hi bro, I'm doing MSc in data science and engineering from the University of Dundee. I will be graduating in April next year and joining Bloomberg in July as a data management professional. That's very good. Congratulations for your new role. I would really appreciate any learning advice before I join. Learning advice. Again, it depends on the job description and what they have told that you will be doing. From data management, it feels like it's more like a data engineering side of things. So it could be completely different, and I might have interpreted completely wrong. But by just looking at data management professional, it feels like it's more like a data engineering role. So I think if you can learn how to handle large amount of data, maybe using PySpark, I think you should be in a good position, because most of the other platforms like Snowflake have their own framework, if it is a framework, called as Snowpark, which is very similar to PySpark. If you know how to write a PySpark code and how to run lazy execution code, I think you'll be fine. Then there is Databricks, where they have their own proprietary uh, data structure called Delta. Again, you don't really have to worry too much about how it works. It just works quite well with PySpark. So yeah, if you try to learn how to manage and handle big data, I think you'll be fine. If you can ask Bloomberg, or if you know who your team members will be, if you can ask them what tools and techniques they use, then I think it will be so much easier for you to learn those things. And yeah, it will be so much easier for you to pick and choose which tools you would like to learn. So I would say reach out to your manager or team members if you already know them. Then ask them what tech stack they use in the company, and then you can start learning those things, because I always have done this since my first job. Even in the interview process itself, I tend to ask interviewers, what tech stack do you use in your company, and most often than not, they're quite open in discussing about those things. And if I already know that, that's great. If I don't, I always used to go and learn those tools and techniques. I really appreciate. Okay, that is done. The job description was mostly related to data engineering. Yeah, that's what I assumed. So that's good. I want a one-to-one communication with you. So can you tell me how you can arrange and what I need to do? The thing is, I am working part time as well as it's not always possible for me to talk on weekends. Yeah, sure. So usually, the way people schedule these one-to-one meetings is using the membership of the channel. So when you click on, if you've already subscribed, probably even if you haven't subscribed, I don't know how does it show or not. So if you are subscribed or not subscribed, you will see a join button next to the subscription button. If you click on that join, you will see different tiers. So depending on how and what you want, you can choose which tier works for you. And then once you have taken the membership, you will get a link to schedule a one-to-one session. So it's fairly straightforward. So once you click on the join button, everything should be quite clear. Thank you, bro. I will try to reach out to my colleagues who are working currently in the role. Yeah, that will certainly be the right step. And again, congratulations. It's good to know that you have already got a offer. We are 46 minutes in. We still have like 14 minutes. If there are any questions so far, if you have liked the live Q&A, please do give it a thumbs up. It always keeps you motivated to come live and answer your questions. So yeah, please do give it a like if you find these Q&As to be helpful. These days, I'm not very active in producing the videos for the channel, and channel has probably become very much stagnant. It's just either I don't get time to record the videos, and even if I record the video, I have to edit it. And the problem is every time I try to edit the video, I get migraine because the editor that I use is a dark theme editor, and obviously I'll have to look very carefully to each and every frame. So I have to keep my eye very constant to certain part of the screen, and that always triggers my migraine, which is a shame. So yeah, it is becoming very difficult to produce videos, but I will try when I will have some time, which I know is probably just an excuse when I will have more time, which I will never have, but I will uh, try to make videos. But that's why, just so I can have conversation with you guys, I still try to come live because it's so much easier to come here, answer your questions, and probably still be able to help you guys. So that's why I try to come online. So if you do find these live Q&As helpful, please do give it a thumbs up. I have a question though. I decided already, but what's the benefit of UK MSc with 40 lakh loan? Instead, we can earn 50-60K per month without any loan burden. Yeah, definitely. If money is the only thing that you are um, looking for, then it totally makes sense to just work in India, because I think you will probably make more money in long term in by staying in India than coming here, because it's not, it may look on paper that you are earning quite a lot, but then you spend a lot as well, and not just on your living expense but then on visas and stuff as well. So if money is the only thing that you are looking for, then probably masters might not be the right option. um it's better to probably just work in India and grow there. You might be able to earn a lot more in longer run, because the salaries for data scientists or tech in general is certainly getting a lot better in India these days. All right. Any other questions? And if I missed any of your questions, please do post it again in the chat. I will answer them, but I just very quickly scanned through the questions and doesn't seem like I missed any. Right, so we are 50 minutes in and I don't see any questions in the chat. I will wait for you to receive this message because I know there is a lag of maybe 10-20 seconds, and then I will end the live Q&A. But before I do that, I see something in the chat. Let's say if we aside money, then also what's the benefit? Quality of life is, I would say, is a lot better here, starting from public transport. I would say the connectivity might be an issue, but the quality of the public transport is a lot better. So in India, if you want to travel in train, you will have to book like months before. But here in the UK, if you want to travel by train, of course it will be expensive, but you can just book a train 5 minutes before your travel. Maybe it works for shorter durations. It may not work for longer journeys, but it always works for me. So that is a good thing. People here drive a lot more sensibly. So if you want to drive safely, it's a lot better here. Air quality is again very good here. So those are just some of the things that I can say, that the quality of life is so much better than what you get in the major cities. Because if you are working in the IT, you will most likely be living in either Delhi, Mumbai, Bangalore, Hyderabad, Chennai, and all those cities are very crowded, so much traffic. You will be spending most of your time in traffic than actually working on stuff, which is not the case here. And those cities are also having the air quality index quite bad, so that is there. There are a lot of parts of India where I think it is still quite good. I would say Northeast India is quite good when it comes to civic sense and people following rules properly. But the problem is you don't get those kind of IT sector or IT hubs there in that area. So yeah, those are the things which I would say are better here. So it's totally up to you. What do you prefer, and what do you value more? Depending on that, you can always make your decision whether to pursue masters or stay in India and maybe make more money, I guess. Can you tell me that if I want to apply for tech role which having better opportunity, data analyst or data engineer? Um, on paper, they may sound very different, and well, they are actually very different, data analyst and data engineer. But when you actually join a company as a, let's say, data analyst, you will not be just analyzing the data, you will also have to engineer the data. So I think when we just talk about the number of jobs out there, I think data analyst jobs will be a lot more than data engineer roles. But better opportunity is very difficult to say, because even in terms of salary, it depends from companies to company as well. Some companies will pay you more money for data analyst roles, but then there will be other companies which will pay you for data engineering roles. But if you just look at the number of jobs, I think data analyst jobs are relatively more as compared to data engineering roles. And they both are actually quite technical. So in a lot of companies, you might just be able to use Excel to do data analyst or data analysis. But when you want to do things at a much larger scale, you will still be using quite a lot of tech stack to do data analysis part. Sorry. Right. We are almost about to reach 1 hour time, so I think we will call it a day now, and I think I've answered all the questions. So, Abhishek, if you choose to schedule a one-to-one conversation, I'll be looking forward to it. And thanks, Goku, for joining, and Samita as well. I thought you might have already left, but thanks everyone for joining, and it was really nice talking to you guys here. And I will look forward to the next Saturday live Q&A. Have a good weekend, enjoy, and happy learning. Bye.